So let's start here. I have this article from The Verge titled OnePlus 8 to be announced on April 14th. If you guys have been living under a rock, OnePlus is coming out with their new phone, the OnePlus 8, via an online launch, obviously. Obviously, the OnePlus 8 will be announced on April 14th during an online live stream. The company announced today. OnePlus says the lineup will consist of a full series of 5G devices, and there will be a handset with 120 hertz display in the lineup. I'm assuming that's going to be the OnePlus 8 Pro with 120 hertz display, up from the 90 hertz displays found on some of its phones last year. So again, my guess here is the 90 hertz display will be the OnePlus 8, the 120 hertz display, the OnePlus 8 Pro. Two main devices are expected to be launched at the event. Yeah, the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro, although recent reports have claimed that they may be joined by a cheaper third device called the OnePlus Z. So this OnePlus Z is supposed to be a successor for the OnePlus X that was launched a couple of years ago. I do have an article that kind of talks about what that might be, so we'll get into that in a little bit. Beyond the official details provided by OnePlus about its new devices, there have been a number of leaks and rumors about what the company plans to introduce in its latest phones. Reports have claimed that the devices will finally support wireless charging after OnePlus joined the Wireless Power Consortium back in January, and that the Pro version of the phone will also feature an IP68 dust and water resistance rating, marking the first time a OnePlus device has received an official IP rating. So we're talking about the OnePlus 8 Pro here. That's going to have the Snapdragon 865. I can't remember how many gigs of RAM, 8 to 12 gigs of RAM. It's going to have, 128 gigs of internal storage, 256 also. It's going to be 120 hertz display, IP68 dust and water resistant, and have wireless charging. So we know all these specs, but the specs that we don't know is the goddamn price of the phone. In terms of design, the phones are expected to ditch the pop-up selfie camera found in last year's Pro devices in favor of hole punch notches. I honestly, so I haven't had my hands on a selfie, a pop-up selfie cam, but I don't know. I kind of like that idea, and having a completely flush or completely notchless display. I think I would rather have that than a punch hole. I understand that there are issues with having the pop-up, right? Like the mechanical issues of it eventually failing in the future, or it getting dirty, or some shit getting into it or whatever. But I don't know if OnePlus is really thinking in that way. I think for them, they can just pick up some other displays that Samsung has, already made, and it's cheaper for them. So again, if you think they're looking out for the consumer, nah, for them it's a cheaper, more efficient way, right? I think a lot of people enjoyed having that pop-up selfie cam, right? So that they would have a complete, like, notchless display. But I talked about this before. If OnePlus was really listening to the consumer, why'd they get rid of the headphone jack? Why? I mean, why haven't they fixed the camera at night? Still not up there with the other flagship phones. And now they're adding all this extra stuff into it, right? IP68. They're adding wireless charging, and I would rather them not even include that if I could have a better camera. Like, honestly, I would rather have a better camera. I would rather have them spend the money to give me a better camera than to put these other features in here that I guess I don't care as much about. Maybe some other people do, but cameras top for me for a lot of things. Leaks have claimed that the device will be available in green, black, and a fluorescent interstellar glow color. I had to pull this up because I wasn't sure what that was, and that's what it looks like, I guess. Here's a better picture of it. So that's the interstellar glow, and then that's the green color. And actually, I would rather have that color. This is more like a teal kind of thing. Teal is my favorite color, by the way, guys. Not that you care, but yeah, glacial green is what that's supposed to be. Onyx black, fucking black. Interstellar glow. I don't know. It's okay. It doesn't really strike me as like anything super fancy. I don't know. So This is from the other. This is from the an older article or whatever. So, yeah, you'll be able to watch the launch on the OnePlus website as well as via the company's YouTube channel. The launch is scheduled to start at 11 a.m. on April 14th. Correction, this piece originally referred to the OnePlus 8 series as the company's eighth generation of, okay, whatever. So, yeah, OnePlus 8, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what it's going to have. It's going to have top end specs, right? The OnePlus 8 Pro will. The OnePlus 8 will be kind of a neutered version of it, probably have still most of the specs. I don't know what they're going to, oh, actually, I think I have camera specs here because they didn't talk about the camera. So this article that was put out today on Droid Life says the OnePlus 8 Pro may offer a 30 times digital zoom and using Sony's new 48 megapixel IMX 689 sensor. Detailed in collaboration with tipster Ishan Agarwal, the OnePlus 8 Pro will feature a 48 megapixel main camera sensor from Sony, complete with another 48 megapixel sensor for ultra wide shooting. So a 48 megapixel main shooter, a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor, an 8 megapixel telephoto lens capable of 30 times digital zoom. But what about optical? Why do I not know what that is? Plus an additional 5 megapixel camera. That's 4 cameras in total, perfectly aligning with all of the renders we've seen of the device. Again, I don't know how well this camera is going to do. It says here the report also notes that OnePlus is adding an all new night portrait mode, 3 HDR video, new cinematic effects, as well as improved optical image stabilization, as well as electronic image stabilization. We'll wait and see. Again, I think the thing that bothers me the most is we keep getting these announcements, the best and the greatest, and look at this and da 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 numbers, tech, like all this bullshit jargon. And then everyone talks about it. I mean, look at Sony with all the 108 megapixel binning technology. Like nobody gives a fuck. Show me what the pictures look like. Are they comparable to the iPhone 11 Pro? Will they beat it? Will they be that good? Because if they're not, then I don't care about all these specs. Like it doesn't matter to me. Beat them first. Have a better camera than them first, and then we can talk. And then you can tell me about the specs. Like, show me the proof. Show me what it looks like first. Again, a lot of these numbers, this is just a dick measuring contest. That's all it is. It's like whoever has the biggest dick, right? Like nobody gives a fuck. Like show me the actual. Don't show me your dick. Show me the actual picture. Show me the proof that camera is going to be as good as you guys claim it to be. Again, my question here is how much is a camera or how much is a phone like this going to cost? How much is it going to cost? Because if we're talking $1,000, like fuck off. No, I'm not going to spend $1,000. I mean, even at $800, that's up there in price already. But yeah, will it be competitive at 800? Sure. Compared to the other phones that are out there right now, it'll be comparable. It's still a lot of money. I wouldn't pay for it. Again, if you guys don't know this, I am putting my foot down and I'm not spending more than $500 on a phone. And I don't mean 500 plus I pay $50 in taxes, plus I pay $10 in shipping and all of that other bullshit. I mean, $500 to my doorstep. That's what I'm going to pay. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I had another. Oh, okay. So I might as well continue this, and we can talk about this cheaper version of the OnePlus that's coming out. So this article from Android Police says the rumored OnePlus 8 Lite could launch as the OnePlus Z later in the year. It looks like we're going to see 2 flagship smartphones launch as part of the OnePlus 8 series on April 14th, like we just talked about. So the Chinese company was previously expected to add a mid-range light handset to this mix, but it sounds like this has been deferred to a later date. The OnePlus 8 Lite is now rumored to come out as the OnePlus Z, succeeding the 5-year-old OnePlus X, which wasn't received all that well at the time. So in a tweet last week, Max of XDA Developers said that OnePlus might revive its mid-tier phone from 2015, but without the X branding. Later, he shared that it'll be called the OnePlus Z and that its hardware matches up with what we know so far about the 8 Lite. This was corroborated by another popular leaker, Ishan Agarwal, according to whom the Z may come out sometime later this year. Excuse me, I'm clearing my throat. I don't have COVID-19. At least I don't think so. With the ever-growing flagship prices, it makes all the more sense for OnePlus to reinstate its cheaper range to retain its consumer base and handle its competition in the segment better. So we're gonna have three phones, just like every company's doing right now. Their mid-range phone, their flagship phone, which is what their budget flagship phone, and then their premium phone. So, and usually we're talking about what, $400-500 for a mid-range, $700-800 for their budget flagship, if you want to call it that. That sounds so dumb. And then 900 plus for their premium. So the 8 Lite will pack a MediaTek processor, possibly the Dimensity 1000. Why does that? That sounds the Dimensity 1000. That sounds so dumb. Along with 8 gigs of RAM and up to 256 gigs of storage. Uh, I mean, I say it's dumb, but I don't know how it performs. It just, the name sounds silly. So this Dimensity 1000 from MediaTek, I've never used it. Have you guys? Do you guys have any experience with the Dimensity 1000? Um, I mean, is it going to be, OnePlus is really good at having really well performing no lag phones, and I don't know if this is going to change the game for them, having something that might not be as performance oriented, but I could be wrong. It's expected to use a 90 hertz 6.4-inch AMOLED screen with a hole punch camera and an embedded fingerprint reader. The rumored mid-ranger is likely to get a triple camera array on the back with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. So it says here Argowal estimates a price tag of around $513. Um, hmm. So here's the thing, $513, but right now the OnePlus 7T, the OnePlus 7T, right? You can get that for $499, and it's probably going to have a better processor than what this is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the Dimensity, God, the Dimensity 1000, I don't know how well performing it is. Anyway, just food for thought. You see this, if this comes out for $499 or whatever, you can get the OnePlus 7T for $499 right now, right? Am I right in saying that? Let me check that real quick. OnePlus 7T. Yeah. So the OnePlus 7T right now for $499. If you want to compare that to the OnePlus, what is it? OnePlus Z or whatever the fuck they're calling it. I mean, again, food for thought, something to compare to.